Welcome to Speaking Nerd, where we talk about all things nerdy, including Pixar. Let's get to it.
Quick and easy, I like that. Yeah. Um, so I wasn't expecting it to be so short. Anyway, so we're back with another episode. I guess we're kind of on a little bit of a steady release so far. Um,
Just you and me. Just you
just
and me.
just us. Because the other two are fucking worthless. No, I'm kidding. They're fine, but you know. Anyway, so we talked about in one of our previous episodes, I forget if it might have been our best and worst of, but we mentioned the idea of doing a Pixar episode
Mm-hmm.
because we got into that conversation a little bit in that episode. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. We'll talk about it at some point. Today's the day that we finally cross it off the list and we can
They
actually talk
said
about it.
that
So,
they,
initially I was thinking like maybe we could do like a tier list or something. Because we haven't done that yet on this podcast, and that's something that I was like, maybe, but then at the same time, I was like, I kind of want all of us to be here for our first actual tier list, right? But
yeah, because a tier list, needs a lot of different opinions
yeah,
to make it like really fun.
right. I feel like it's kind of special if all of us are kind of together for that, you know. And then by the time we get to the next tier list, it'll probably just be us again or or whatever. But
Yeah.
um, so I was like, okay, well, we can just, we'll talk about kind of the legacy of Pixar. And initially, we were going to record this a few days ago, but then Alter fucked around for over an hour, and
Uh, w-
um,
let's say a lot more than an hour. Bro was playing, uh what was that game called? It was like an adaptation of some TV show we've never heard of.
Falling Skies was it?
Like that. It was like XCOM or whatever.
Yeah, it was XCOM styled. Yeah, you guys remember Falling Skies, that famous show on TNT?
Any Falling Skies fans in the house?
Let us know if you're here. Like, put a comment down.
Hey, I
You
mean,
show up.
if you guys really want the Falling Skies content, you gotta comment,
At some
and then
point, if
and
we
then
ever
we'll
do
force
at
Alter
some
to.
at some point, if we ever do like penitentiary style playthroughs on Speaking Nerd, that's the game I want Alter to
Yes.
record for us.
Like I yeah, I just want to be as excruciating as possible.
Yeah. We are just fully like positive Alter brat misery on our
Yes,
in our friend group. So
yes. The only thing that truly gives me joy.
is his suffering.
Yes.
But anyway, let's get into the topic of today's video, which is Pixar. You guys have probably seen some Pixar movies, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm hoping you've seen some of the good ones
The good
because
just just at least some of the good ones.
the last couple of years, it's been hit or miss, guys. Um, I mean, like DreamWorks is kind of kicking them to the curb right now. Which is surprising to say the least.
That's so weird to think about because when Pixar was in its renaissance in the 2000s, like when they were just putting out banger after banger after banger,
They were destroying Disney.
DreamWorks like they were destroying Disney, but also DreamWorks was basically the joke, like
Yeah,
the joke of the competition because they had films
DreamWorks
like Shark
just like
Tale, and
DreamWorks was like the ugly stepchild.
pretty much, yeah.
Which is like it's not to say that like the Shrek movies aren't awesome because they are, but they're not like it's not Wally. it's not, it's not The Incredibles, you
No.
know? It wasn't anything, like, crazy.
It was a
Just
weird time for
mhm,
DreamWorks, which we'll probably talk about in another video, going
yeah.
over that echelons of movies,
Mhm,
but, which is not much, well, at least for the 2000s anyway. Um, but yeah, Pixar, like, I wanna say, like, it was from the mid-90s till, like, the early 2010s. They were basically on top of the world as far as animated
yeah.
films go.
Like, I do think one important thing to highlight, which I have talked about in one of my videos, is the part that George Lucas played in the fact that Pixar even exists.
Mhm,
Putting a lot of faith in this like small team of animators and storytellers, putting money behind it. I mean, he couldn't sustain them forever, which is why Steve Jobs eventually got involved with Pixar.
mhm.
Um, if you want to know the more fuller story, go watch my Star Wars video. Um, but it's just really fascinating to me, like all of the little players and bringing Pixar, you know, onto the scene.
Yeah, it's interesting because most people, when you think Pixar, it's like, oh, it's like, they made Toy Story and then they made the other films like past 1995. But yeah, they made a lot of stuff before
Mhm.
that that not a lot of people know. Like they made a lot of shorts. Um
Um, the
uh
chess
and
short,
yeah, chess. There was one involving their own mascot, which is the desk lamp that
yes,
I
classic.
remember. Yeah. Yeah, they did a ton of stuff. And
Plus the team of Pixar, you know, a lot of them were just like, like visual effects technicians.
right.
Like they knew a lot about like technology, but it was a learning process, uh, you know, getting better at storytelling. And that there is a whole list. There's like a Pixar's guide to storytelling that they have like posted up in Pixar. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't know if they still have it posted up, but it's a really cool list. Maybe I'll send you the link so you can put it in the description. But
Sure.
um it's just really fascinating to me, especially when they had to like get a grant from like Steve Jobs of all people.
Yeah.
um yeah, it's so odd, um but it's like so cool, all of the little things that came together that would give us such an important staple of American animation.
And I wanna say, I mean, getting into their breakout, Toy Story, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the first fully computer generated animated movie released.
Yes.
You probably know more. Okay, yeah, it was. I thought so. I was like, was there one before it? I mean, there's been movies before that
Same.
used,
I want
computer
to say
generated effects and whatnot, but I don't think beforehand there was a full movie made
let
from
me
a,
see.
from a computer.
The first movie period to have any kind of computer animation was the first Star Trek movie,
Right.
which was provided by Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas, which would
Which
then
they
lead to
yeah,
Pixar, and a lot of the same people who worked at Industrial Light and Magic at that time would then work at Pixar.
yeah, and I think because originally they were like, when they found the company, it was under a different name. It wasn't
Hmm.
just Pixar, they were another, or maybe I'm just misremembering, but they worked with ILM on
Mm, very
movies like,
closely.
the Star Trek one, as mentioned, and, projects like that, so I'm trying to remember, because I think before Toy Story, like, I think there might have been, like, TV shows that had come out that were fully CG, like, Reboot comes to mind, I can't remember
There's
when.
always wars.
I'm trying to when did Reboot come out? I'm looking that up now.
Oh, did you hear what I said?
I might have cut out there. What'd you say?
I said I said there's always beast wars.
Oh, there's Beast Wars. That's right.
But that was '96, so that was 1 year after Toy Story.
So Reboot was 1994, which was right before Toy Story. So yeah, fully CGI, or I guess computer animated films were fairly new around that time. But
Yeah, very new, like, I infant
right,
stages.
I can't like every time I think about Beast Wars and Reboot, I keep remembering. He's like, oh yeah, those guys made a Spider-Man show in 2003
They did,
that barely anybody remembers. Mostly
yeah.
me, but
I do have some of the episodes on DVD.
of the new animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the full first season. I have like the full set, so
Surprised you haven't
it's
done
a
a
great
video.
way to watch it. It's a really good show.
Maybe that's a collaboration in our future.
Maybe.
Especially with the advent of the Friendly Neighborhood show, which is
True.
almost almost like a modern version of that show in some prospects, especially since it's connected to the current live action Spider-Man, but also no, at the same time,
It's like it's a weird mishmash where it's like
which is
it takes elements from Tom Holland, but then it does its own thing, and it does
which
it
is
better,
which
I
is
think.
literally what the other show did with the Sam Raimi movies too.
Yeah.
Kind of fascinating, but
That
that's something to put a pin
that's
in.
yeah, that is a video for another day for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So with that backstory out of the way, let's get into each film, you know, from the humble beginnings of Toy Story to the Renaissance of the 2000s, and maybe we'll even talk a little bit about some modern stuff, which
Because there
I'm
is
sure.
some good modern stuff, so
Yeah. um. So let's go all the way back to 1995. Toy Story. Um. What do you think about this movie today?
I do remember rewatching it a couple years ago. I mean, it obviously still holds up. It's still a classic movie. Um, it's a really fun movie. I uh I will say, like, among other Pixar movies, it's probably not my favorite, but um it's really good. And
Yeah.
like, the animation holds up. It's a good story. Um like, I mean, it's generally really well crafted and pretty timeless.
I think narrative wise, it's still really good. Its animation, like, I mean, you can't really give it too much shit because, you know, like that
Being the
was
first of its
like they,
kind.
yeah, I mean, it was a product of its time. And also, I think like they were still like, this is something that was like a full length feature release in theater movie. Like they never did that before. So,
Yeah, like this was groundbreaking.
It was. And I mean
And
it's
like if you're gonna watch Spider Verse and go crazy over it, you got to think Toy Story real quick.
yeah.
Like literally any 3D animation in today's world, you got to think Toy Story, and you got to think Pixar.
That's what bugs me about people today is that when they see older 3D animated shows and whatever, they're always going to be like, "Oh, it looks like shit," or whatever. It's just like, I mean, can you really? I mean, there's some cases where it's like, yeah, but also it's just like it's a product of the time, man. So
Well, they don't know how good they have it.
true.
They don't. Um, which also speaks to how people react to bad animation now, or just less uh less high fidelity or whatever.
Right.
Um, you know, one, they don't care about animators. They don't care about artists. And two, they don't realize how good animation is right now compared to, decades ago.
Right.
And they don't appreciate the history, of how we got here. And I think to appreciate the history, you have to appreciate, you know, when things were a little rougher than what we have now. But it's still foundational. Like Toy
Yeah.
Story is foundational.
Right. Absolutely. There's a precedent there, and it's a uh, ever changing transition.
Hmm.
But yeah, the first Toy Story movies, like it still holds up
Mm,
pretty much.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like the ending ride, on the
Yeah,
street, it, it's peak.
except for that dog though. I'm sorry, but
except,
that dog just yeah,
except for
just ugly, man. Oh my god.
the
So we move on from Toy Story. Now it's 1998 with A Bug's Life.
This movie, in some aspects, doesn't feel like a Pixar movie. Um, like it's a really interesting movie. Because I've watched like some parts of it recently. Um, I
Right.
mean, not even in relation to this video. Like,
Hmm.
I just it's a pretty complex movie for a movie about bugs. And the cast is pretty stacked. Um, it always makes me chuckle that Bugs Life and Ants like came out around the same time.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably say Bugs Life is better on an animation level, but what do you
I,
think of A Bug's Life?
it's a good movie. It's a movie that I haven't watched like in a while,
It's
but
definitely not like I wouldn't say it's iconic.
it's not. Yeah, no, no,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
it
It doesn't hold that same caliber as
it doesn't
like
have that staining iconography that something like Toy Story or Wally or like The Incredibles or Ratatouille has.
I can think of maybe a few moments from the movie,
Yeah,
but
like but
that's it.
it's mostly the ending for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's good in general.
Yeah, like it's a pretty fun movie. It's not I wouldn't really expect it to make it into most people's 10.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, just like yeah, that's part of why it feels like it's not a Pixar movie because it feels like it could have been made by any studio,
True.
and that's why Ants exists.
It's so funny to me because, like, if like between the two movies, if you asked my standpoint on it, like, A Bug's Life is by far a better movie in
Yeah,
general, but I remember more about Ants than I do A Bug's Life. It's the weirdest thing, but, it's there's something about Ants which is just, like, it's memorable because it's not that great. It's a fine movie,
that's true.
but it's to me, there's more memorable bits in Ants than A Bug's Life, but
Yeah, that's a fair point. Uh,
yeah.
Ant stands out a little bit more because it's not very good.
Like that scene where they all go to war and most of the ants
Yeah.
fucking die gruesomely. Oh man. All right. So a year later, we got a sequel to Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and this is just a better movie like
That movie,
just in
like,
general.
in pretty much every sense of the word.
Pretty much,
Uh,
yeah.
we have different locations. We have clinically insane people. Um, we have a lot. We have a lot of interesting backstory. We have, we just have much more interesting themes. Um, when it comes to the toys, uh, it's more interesting.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like generally a lot more like challenging of a movie, I guess.
Yeah. Even though out of the 3, or I guess 4 now, I keep forgetting the 4th movie exists. But, out of that series, um, and I guess we'll
I
talk about this a little later, and I'm interested to get
Yeah,
your take on it. Um, Toy Story 2, not my favorite Toy Story movie.
interesting. What is your favorite?
Toy Story 3.
I can get with that. I can get with
Okay.
that.
I was almost part of me was hoping you'd be like, "What a crock of shit! What's wrong with you?" But,
As long as you don't say Toy Story 4,
oh.
that I might have to like kill you with fire.
Yeah, it's just like you pull the other 2 members aside, and we're just like, "We have to commit Marvel. He's not
Yes,
he's not well."
bro has to. He needs to be between four padded walls, and rethink his life choices.
I'm in my cell acting all crazy. He's like, "Toy Story 4 is amazing." It's like he's a lost cause.
He
We're just
finally
waiting.
made it. He finally made it to Arkham.
Yeah,
He really is in intensive
ju
treatment now.
just where he belongs. Um,
Yes.
um, alright,
After
let's
all he's done, he's
after
here.
after all I'd done, all I accomplished, this is where I end up. Absolutely. So let's talk about a real banger of a movie, Monsters Incorporated.
Yes. Yes.
I love Monsters Incorporated. It's probably top 5 Pixar movie.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great. I don't think there's a single thing you could say bad about this movie. It's peak.
yeah,
Especially the ending. Like the third act is stellar. Stellar.
yeah,
Plus the whole like door system. Like we don't think about it now because it's been around for so long, but that genuinely is such a cool idea. The whole like ecosystem of like monsters go to work, um, to go through these portals to scare people. Like, that's you know, when it first came out, it's gotta be, like, a pretty fascinating new idea, but we don't really appreciate it like that anymore because it's been around for so long.
And it's a nice spin on the whole, "There's a monster in my closet," and it's just like, "Oh,
Exactly.
there's nothing." It's an interesting idea, and,
It's a good take.
something that nobody I don't think anybody has really done beforehand. So,
Yeah.
the part about this movie that fascinates me now is the whole, I guess, subplot about their world having basically an energy crisis because it's just
Yeah.
like the screams are not really having the power that it used to, I guess, is implied, but like
Mhm.
it's like that's real. I can appreciate real in this cartoon monster movie.
Yes.
But yeah, it's great. It's got an amazing cast, memorable characters, um, some of the best villains ever in Pixar. One of them, at least, is who I love.
Most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, it's great. Go watch it if you haven't already. If you haven't watched it for whatever reason, why are you here? But
Yeah, why are you here? Why did you click on a Pixar video when you
like,
haven't watched Monsters, Inc?
he was like,
Like,
"Why are we talking about what's Pixar? This is speaking our podcast."
genuinely, like like, why? Are you like, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
Like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
yeah. All right. Finding Nemo's next. Another just straight banger, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Besides the terrifying Brace Girl.
Or the divers. The divers scared the crap out of me the most as a kid.
Uh, yeah,
When, like,
they're
when he just
pretty
shows up and all you see is like just the goggles, that is a horrifying picture.
though, not gonna lie, anytime I rewatch the movie now, I can't get past the fact that Ellen DeGeneres is in this movie.
Yeah. And she's a lead character too.
And, she is good, but also she sucks as a person. So I can't get past that. So
Yeah.
that's the only slight irritation I have on rewatches now, but it's a really good movie. It's classic.
I'm
And
just I
Marlon
like I mean,
is some
Willem Dafoe, man. That's the standout for me.
the
Like,
goat. The goat.
I just remember as a kid hearing him speak for the first time. I'm like, "Oh, that's Green Goblin. Get away, Nemo. He blow you up." Uh, yeah, another just stacked cast minus
Yes.
Ellen, but, they
Yeah,
didn't
it's
know at the
really
time.
good
Well,
cast.
maybe they
I
knew, but whatever.
I love the turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I love them so much. I love that they made stoner surf bro turtles.
Or the sharks. The sharks are, like, just this, like,
Mhm.
another aspect where it's like like, this is one of the things that I love going back to the early, like, Pixar, like, what I call the golden age is that, like, the kids' movies where it's just like they're talking toys or talking fish or monsters and stuff, but they manage to incorporate just, like, very real world shit in there on occasion.
Mhm.
Like, the Monsters Inc. energy crisis or the Finding Nemo, like, recovery program for
Yeah.
sharks. That's neat. That's
It's really good world building and making it feel more tangible and real.
Yeah. Speaking of tangible and real, can we talk about the next movie,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
probably it's in the top 5 for sure.
You
It's
know
the
that's right.
it's The Incredibles.
AKA peak cinema, AKA the real Fantastic Four movie.
Pretty much a year
Um
before we got Fantastic Four, we had the
yeah,
real Fantastic Four.
yeah, we got peak before we got disappointed.
No, I still like that Fantastic Four. Anyway,
Hey, I do still like those movies. I
yeah,
just The Incredibles, it's too
The Incre
good.
Incredibles is a damn near perfect movie in my eyes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's probably my favorite Pixar movie, not just because it's a superhero movie and that helps, but it's like it's
It's so
it's one of those great animated movies where it's like it's it's for kids, but adults can get into it too.
Yeah, like the subtext of you know, him quote unquote cheating on his wife, like, dude,
Yeah.
um, like the way they did that is like genius.
Yeah,
And
it's
kind
just
of
like yeah.
melding that with like the superhero life. So cool. So
Or the
cool.
idea of just, like, him having a midlife crisis and, reliving,
Exactly.
like, the glory days of when he was a superhero, even though he pretty much has everything now, like, he has a wife and kids and, you know, income.
It's
So
it's such a relatable way to frame being a superhero.
yeah,
If only the MCU could make a movie that so tangibly um kind of shows the weight of that, because
yeah,
I don't think there has been a movie that does that quite like The Incredibles.
yeah. I feel like the closest I mean, it's not MCU, but,
Yeah.
like, Spider-Man 2 is another really good
Yes.
example of that, and this came out the same year even. So,
Peak. Peak.
2004 was just a peak year in general. So
Was was
oh,
and
man.
you know why? Because Alter wasn't alive yet.
So, what you're getting at is that Alter Brett basically ruined humanity.
True. It's true.
Yeah,
But more importantly, he ruined superhero movies.
pretty much. He definitely fucked up Incredibles too. Anyway, um,
Yes.
so the next movie, and this is one that Alter wanted to talk about, but Cars. I
But he sucks and he's not here, so
and
screw him.
just like Alter Brap, I'm not a fan of Cars.
It's fine. I The Cars movies have never really stuck with me.
No.
Uh, like they're good, but they're not really anything more than that. They're just not things that I want to revisit.
Yeah.
Um, except I kind of like Cars too
Cars.
because it's a stupid fun spy movie
Yeah.
and it has Mater as the lead instead of stupid Lightning McQueen.
Man, fuck Lightning McQueen.
All my homies hate
I
Lightning McQueen.
I hate him so much. It's Cars is like the Cars movies in general. Well, I guess mostly the first two, and I can't really say much about the third because I haven't really seen much of it. But the first movie, just because I've seen it the most, is one of those movies I feel it just gets worse. the more that, like, as the years go on, and
Yeah.
like, it's a movie that I wanna watch less and less of, and it's like it's got some good nuggets in there, but it's like, to me, it's just a bad idea.
Honestly, the only thing that that I still enjoy is like Mater, just because I think the actor is funny.
Mhm.
But I've seen him in other stuff. That's part of
Right,
it,
right.
like the Tooth Fairy movie.
Not the Tooth Fairy.
Before he became a tall, athletic black guy.
Who changed the hierarchy of the DC universe, but not really. Damn. Alright, Ratatouille time.
Actual good movie.
It's it is to me, Ratatouille is a must-watch animated film.
It's one of the best American animated movies. It's a top 5 Pixar movie,
Mhm,
undoubtedly. Like it's so good. It and there's no coincidence on who did the soundtrack for it because he's always peak.
he is always peak, yeah.
In all of the movies that he does the soundtrack for in Pixar are always good. Um, but yeah, like I mean, the concept of a rat controlling a chef through his hair, and rat is like in love with cooking
Mhm.
because he watches this cooking show, like so cool. And there's this like a romantic feeling to this movie. Like there's a warmth to this movie, but it's also like really funny too.
Yes.
And it's just a really special movie. It's a really special movie.
It has, like, it's a perfect movie all the way around, and then it
Yes.
has probably one of the most perfect endings ever.
Yes. 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 All day.
It makes those with the most shriveled hearts and the blackest hearts have some emotion, and that's
Including the Grinch.
exactly.
When the Grinch watched Ratatouille, his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
I know, fuck, just 3, make it like 9, more
Uh,
so.
12. 12
12.
for every day of Christmas.
You see it's like his heart just like just in his chest. He's just poking out. You should go to get that looked at, Grinch.
Grinch needs a cardiologist.
Oh yeah. Um, so yeah, Ratatouille, just incredible. Another really incredible movie that came out the next year, Wally. Just I love
Yes.
Wally so much.
How did they do that back to back? How did they
Back
do
to
that back to back?
I don't know how, but they they
Oh,
found a way.
if only we could have erased Cars and then it could have been back to back.
Get
The
the
uh,
car out of here.
the anti-Cars agenda starts now. Get that out of here.
It's so
Get
weird
that
looking
out
at
of
the
here.
2000s movies because it's like you got Monsters Inc. Amazing, Finding Nemo, incredible, Incredibles, spectacular, Cars, Ratatouille, cinema, Wall-E cinema, and you're like, you know,
Like,
uh,
what are we doing? Just get Cars out of there. Gone, gone.
Fuck you, John Lasseter, for releasing Cars.
And other things, I suppose.
But yeah, Wally is a phenomenal movie as well.
Yeah,
Because just there's
like,
no real words. Like it's just peak cinema.
it's cinema, it's cinema.
Mm.
Like, WALL-E, um, Ratatouille, and The Incredibles, peak trilogy.
Yes.
Like, if you wanna watch, like, 3 movies back to back that are just perfect, watch those 3 movies.
Yeah. Another banger movie that came out the next year, Up.
So much peak. I can't even take it.
This has my favorite opening ever for a Pixar movie.
Yes, yes. It feels so, I keep saying this, but it's true. It feels so real.
Yeah.
Um, like this bit, there's nostalgia to it. There's, the images of that opening, without even having to say that much. It's like it tells you so much, and it's able to elicit so much emotion. And that's not even talking about like the musical score for this, that like grabs your heart and squeezes it, like, so good.
This movie beats you into submission at the first
Yes.
like, the beginning, and then it, like, slowly builds you back up all throughout it.
Got the dog, we got the kid, we got a big balloon house.
That fucking bird that, is
Yeah,
there.
the evil bald guy.
Yeah, the bad guy who
Yeah.
is another really great villain as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. He's almost like an Indiana Jones villain, except he's not a
A little bit,
Nazi.
you know? It's it's true. Could you imagine somebody at Pixar was like, "You know what we need more of in our movies?
We
Nazis."
we
Just like, "Oh, no,
we
no,
need
no, 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 we don't need that." Um, alright, let's talk about Toy Story 3 because, again, another just great movie in
you
general.
know, imagine how peak Pixar would be if Cars didn't happen.
Literally.
Time
It
to
would've been
erase it.
such it would've been such an incredible 10-year streak, and then Cars happened and just like,
Yes.
"This is a
You
misstep."
ruined the whole thing. You ruined the whole thing.
God damn it, Cars.
First you, Owen Wilson.
It's all Owen Wilson's fault.
It's all Wilson's fault. Everything that man touches dies, including
Mm,
including
including a talking car. How dare you?
not to mention Zoolander.
Toy Story 3 though, like, it's not only a great conclusion to the other 2 and a great, like, compendium, but also it's just a great, it's toys in a prison escape movie, and it's just so much fun all throughout. There's so many great moments, um, like, towards the beginning, in the middle. Each act is just
Yes.
great,
Yes. Yes.
and it has another really great ending with, the, conclusion of, Andy's story, even though Andy was barely a character in these
Yeah,
movies. But whatever. But
but it's a nice little send off.
it is a nice send off. You're right.
You know, if Toy Story 4 didn't happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then they made Toy Story 4, and now 5.
Why? Why?
Why?
Why did it have to be this? Why did it have to be this? No, this wasn't how it was supposed to go.
Oh man.
I had it all planned out.
All right. So next is Cars 2, and I can't really contribute because I don't remember anything about Cars 2. And I probably haven't watched it since 2011. But
All I'm gonna say is James Bond car, explosions, guns, Mater. That's it.
that's it. Okay. Um. Next is Brave, which I've seen maybe twice, and fine. I don't know. Have you
It's a
seen?
it's a
What do you
Disney
think?
movie.
It's a Disney movie. Yeah, it's just Disney.
It's a Disney princess movie.
I don't know. Like I like the beginning of it where she's like, I'm a strong, independent Scottish woman, and I don't need no man or whatever. And then her mom turns into a bear, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What's happening here? So that's where I just kind of drop off.
Bow and arrow stuff.
But that scene's great though, where she's shooting the arrows and ripping the dress at the same time. It's just like that's cool, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's pretty sick. So if it was all bow and arrow stuff, maybe it would be peak, but
yeah. But okay, Monsters University. So
I
fight.
I will say you can definitely feel the transition going from like Toy Story 3 to Brave to this. Like you can feel there's like we're in a different era now,
Right.
especially with like the Disney stuff.
Yeah, I think this is like we're slowly shifting into modern Pixar, which
Mm.
is not it's not that
It's
good. But
it's
um
it's very it's very franchise focused,
yeah.
and it's less focused on allowing movies like Ratatouille and Wall-E to exist.
To me, Monsters University was the last real good Pixar movie.
Yeah, I
Like
can agree.
of that era, I'd say.
Um, though I have one problem with that.
And
Um,
what's that?
Soul, Soul,
No,
Soul.
that's why I said of that era. So like 2000s
Oh,
and
okay.
if I said in general, then you'd probably be more angry, but you know.
Yeah, I thought you were condemning the rest of the
No.
movies.
There are some movies here that I will condemn, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I actually still I really like Monsters University. It's a good movie.
Huh?
What is going on, everybody? Future Marvel here, and so you're probably wondering what the hell just happened at the end of that video. Well, in the middle of our recording, one of AJ's family members came in and told them that they had to leave for certain predicaments that we thought we had a little bit more time, or I thought anyway. But I was like, whatever, we'll just pick it up later. So at some point, we're gonna do a follow up to the Pixar video, kind of talking about the rest of the movies, and just it was so we'll do a part 2 eventually. But yeah, I just so I mean I didn't want to delete the whole recording because we talked a lot about a lot of good stuff. So at some point, I don't know when exactly, we will do a follow up, and maybe Alter will be there, or Swifty and stuff. But as of now, we're just leaving it as the one. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to check out AJ's channel, and also check out my channel, and check out more episodes of the Speaking Nerd podcast and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry. And we will catch you all for the next one. See ya.